Hi, I would like to share with you the scripture is from 2 Samuel chapter 6, starting with verse 1. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000, and David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baale of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts that dwells between the cherubims. And they set the ark of God in a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drove the new cart. And he brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was at Gibeah, accompanying the ark of God, and Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his error, and there he died by the ark of God. And David was displeased because the Lord had made a breach upon Uzzah, and he called the name of that place Perez Uzzah to this day. And David was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, "How shall the ark of the Lord come to me?" So David would not remove the ark of the Lord unto him into the city of David, but David carried it aside unto the house of Obed Edom the Gittite. And the ark of the Lord continued in the house of Obed Edom the Gittite 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed Edom and all his household. And was told King David, saying, "The Lord has blessed the house of Obed Edom and all that pertains unto him, because of the ark of God." So David went and brought up the ark of God from the house of Obed Edom into the city of David with gladness. And it was so that when they that bore the ark of the Lord had gone 6 paces, he sacrificed oxen and fatlings. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord and set it in its place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. When David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord, and as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, and even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well as to the women as men, to everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh, and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, everyone to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, his daughter of Saul, came out to meet David, and she said, "How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovers himself." And David said unto Michal, "It was before the Lord which chose me before your father, before all his house, to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord. And I will yet be more vile than thus, and will be base in mine own sight. And of the maidservants which you have spoken of them shall I be had in honor." So, therefore, Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child until the day of her death. Now, those scriptures right there are talking about an event that happened during David's kingship over whole kingdom of Israel, and that he wanted to bring the ark of God into Jerusalem, and he and his fellow Israelites went and they tried to bring the ark of God into Jerusalem upon a cart, and unfortunately the oxen shook, and the ark starting to fall off the cart, and Uzzah tried to steady, and he got killed by the Lord, and David ended up he realized that he can't that he realized his error, and brought the cart to the house of Obed Edom the Gittite. I mean, it had the Ark of God stay there for a while, and then later on, they realized that that it wasn't the Ark of God wasn't to be brought in upon a cart, but upon the shoulders of Levites. So he had Levites carry the Ark of God upon their shoulders, and his second attempt to bring the Ark of God into Jerusalem went much better because he listened to the Lord, and he was like celebrating and sacrificing, and he was like dancing and leaping around, and I mean, they were rejoicing before the Lord. The only thing is that Michael, when she saw David leaping and dancing and whirling around, and she got a little jealous, and that and she ended up despising David in her heart, and um, after David and his team of Israelites brought the Ark of God into the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. David blessed the people in the name of the Lord of hosts, and he got a little generous with his offerings to the people, and he gave them piece of meat, and also a bunch of raisins and a flagon of wine. Just like he he got really generous that day, and then he comes into his house and he's greeted by his wife just standing there. And he's like, how glorious was the king of Israel today, who's dancing around like a stripper at a burlesque show. I mean, look at you dancing around all naked. And yeah, that's just the first thing that she had to say to David when he came in the door. I mean, it's like, and David was like, it wasn't you that I was worshiping, dear. It was the Lord. I mean, and even though I was base in your sight, at least the maidens will honor me. And of course after that, Michael ended up having no children from David from that day forward. I mean, unto the day of her death. Jesus, guy did no longer intimate with David, or he was like cursed by the Lord because of her condemning David's unkingly dancing. Yeah, sometimes when we worship the Lord through our singing and dancing, may we may attract unwanted attention from people. I mean, they may turn their heads, and they may look at us kind of funny, and it's like they may say rude things about us, but if you got the joy of the Lord, it's something that they can't take away. I mean, it says in Nehemiah, the joy of the Lord is our strength. I mean, and we should not be ashamed of worshiping the Lord. I mean, the with our whole being in spirit and truth, as Jesus said to the Samaritan woman at the well. God is a spirit, and those who worship God must worship Him in spirit and truth. I mean, when you shouldn't be ashamed of our worship. I mean, if we know that we are worshiping the Lord, and it's just I mean, there's some things that need to be decent and in order, but I mean, if you're worshiping the Lord, you shouldn't have to worry about who's looking at you, who's think, thinking their thoughts about you and stuff. And just, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, have a good day, and may God bless you.